And right now, let's move on to Kyla and Anya, because then we're just gonna be. I don't know what the opposite of like glazing is, or anything of the new term gen things people are using. Like it isn't gassing because gassing's the same as glazing. Whatever. Just putting Okayu in the gutter and maybe move Aski a little up because she can become an early game mage knight. And she gets like, I mean, if you want, you can grind up dancer levels, but honestly, you're probably not doing that. She does join earlier. Maybe this is accurate enough. Who knows? But these two do good magical chip. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But let's move on to Kyla. And I think Kyla is a solid B tier unit. Why is Kyla just solid B tier? Maybe not A tier, because A tier is like for amazing-ish units. And then S tier is like, yeah, these are your most important units in the game. Like, you gotta have them. I could put Polka in S, but, you know, she's just doing regular Merlina stuff. And she can tank too, but then you realize, hey, I want a tank that retaliates. If Polka could attack, maybe she would be an auto S. But I think leaving Polka in A is fine. And just like I think that Kyla is also just a fine unit to have in B. Because she may be just a hero who specialized in staffs. Or just a better version of the Hoshido Blacksmith. Because, what do blacksmiths do in Birthright? Birthright experts, tell me, what do they do? She doesn't learn any skills, so the skills she comes with are the ones she has. Arms Drift, luck percent chance to not consume weapon durability. Pretty nice. She's got, right now she's got 30 luck, but she's gotten some levels. Let's look at her luck base. And Kyla, she has 20 luck at base. 20 luck. Kyla has 20 luck at base, huh? And why does mine have 30? Maybe she joins at a lower level. But her growth rates on the other stats are... I see. It's 60 luck, but everything else is just below 50. So her growth rates aren't that good, but we'll still read them out. She has 45 in both HP and strength, then 40 in both resistance and defense, and then skill is 40, then the speed is 35, and then her magic is 15. But her magic base is... I think what's her magic base? Let me see. Her magic base is that of 16. It's not terrible. Mio has 17 magic and she joins the chapter earlier. But the thing with Kyla is that she's also got decent con for capturing. She's got a personal Hammer'n weapon. That's 12 uses. I think this can mend about most things. Like, if this Hammer'n stuff can heal up things that aren't, you know, used by Hammer'n, perfect. But then that's 12 uses, so you have to nerf it. So you have 2 Hammer'n staffs. You can't repair them, doi. And then you have a 12-use personal repair staff. That's 22 uses for personal weapons, which is great. I already said the thing about Arms Drift. She has Short Shield, which means gain 6 defense received against attacks in melee. Blue Flame, so she's gonna be good with Kiara. And Heavy Strikes, that weapon weight to critical chances. She has 16 con, so she can use heavy axes and add them to the crit. And the bases aren't even that bad either, the rest of them. 52 HP, which is pretty high. The next unit that joins with higher HP than her is Iofi at 60. Or Sana at 64. And then there's not Canny, I mean, I wanted to say either Crony or Callie, and I just put them both. Yeah, Crony at 80 and Callie at 80. There's Mel with 56. But Kyla just joins way earlier. 18 strength, 16 magic, 16 skill, 16 speed. There's a lot of sweet 16s here. I wonder if that's a reference to something. 20 luck, 16 defense, I was gonna say 16 again. 10 resistance, 6 move, 16 con. Yeah, that's 4 16s there. That's gotta be a reference to something. Is she a Sweet 16 fan? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But the thing with Kyla, right, is that I don't have much to say about her. She's just good support and good capture bot. She can do Kiara's capture bot shenanigans a lot better than her because Kiara just wants to do that Rally Spectrum. Like, Rally Spectrum is just too good. Like, I think Kiara can just fall into being a rally bot on Yabai mode, but then on Seiso mode, she gets a lot more use, I think. Like, everyone gets a buff in Seiso mode. Maybe Null gets a nerf, since everyone's a lot more tankier in Seiso because the enemies are easier. But, yeah, Kyla, she's solid B. You know, she's solid B. She could probably go into A. You're probably not using her much for combat. You're using her to, like, clean up enemies for capture, you know, the gain weapons, sell weapons, whatever you want to do with it. But speaking of weapons, well, we have Anya. Ooh. I really like Anya. I like using Anya a lot. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think she's really good. Especially with the Beast Sage seal that gives her plus 10 strength. Like, she's a flying weapon with effective damage. Let's look at her skills before we look at those base stats. I think she's at the top for me. I'm just looking for the skills. Let's see. I lost her. No, wait, there she is. Alright, there it is. She has 10 con. At least I can say that base. Because she doesn't promote. She has Arcane Blade when initiating battle at 1 range. At 3 plus magic divided by 2 to hit and crit. Ooh. Keep up if units within 3 spaces an ally with Canto or Canto Plus. Unit gains plus 2 move. Ooh. And she has 8 move at base. Acrobat. All traversal terrain costs 1 movement. Ooh. Arm Strift, just like Kyla. Full Metal Body. I mean, she learns it. And it means this unit's immune to all seal skills. Great. And Chivalry, when foes at full HP, gain attack, defense / res plus 2. So you want her at full HP. And she also learns Blood Tide. Also good support. Now let's look at her base stats and growths. She's under... there she is. She has 50 HP, 10 strength, 17 magic, 30 skill. I think that's skill, right? Yeah, that's skill, 30 skill. So she's gonna be accurate. 20 speed, so she's pretty slow. 8 luck, 20 defense, 17 resistance, 8 move, 10 con. She's pretty solid. And her growth rates are like a bit like Louise. Like there's nothing really stand out-ish. Let's see. Let's go from highest to lowest. She has 3 growths in the 50s, which are magic, luck, and HP. Then the ones in the 40s are just strength and speed, which is still pretty decent. And then the rest, skill, defense, and resistance, are at 30. So she can do things that hit hard. Probably a lot of things. But the thing is, right, she has a unique weapon, too. I'll just read what that does. She has Karis. And you can honestly just go with Karis. It's a 1-2 range weapon. It's Anya's main form, Union. I wonder what Union does. It's 7 weight. Actually, both her purple weapons don't even matter for her, you know, thing. And it's 85 hit. Ooh. And here's the thing, right? It's a good weapon. It's a good weapon, and if with some rally speed or rally spectrum, she's doubling. And she can use other swords too. So if you need her to sleeve something, you know, she's got the sleeve sword. Like, this is one of your best 1-2 range options in the game, I think. Because she just has it indefinitely. And she can fly too. She's gonna be not too great for rescuing, but she can rescue lighter units if you want her to. And she's got a lot of moves, so she's like a cavalry route Kanto. But I want to talk about her next weapon, Antithesis. It's a purple weapon, Doi. Also 1-2 range. Has 5 less hit at 80. Has 4 less might. but it at 9, and this weight doesn't matter. She isn't slowed down by it. It sits. But no crit. Does the other one have crit? No, they both don't have crit. But this one does magic damage and darting blow and is brave. So let's assume Anya has not leveled up a single level, right? And you're still bringing her to the Hololive Indonesia Gaiden. I mean, you will. Like, if you have access to that Gaiden, you're definitely going there. And you only get Antithesis if you defeat the Anya that is there. Like, Hololive Indonesia Gaiden chapter, I don't know the exact name of the Gaiden. I'll just call it... I just call the Gaidens by their gens. Like, there's a Hololive Gamers Gaiden. There's the Hololive Gen 0 Gaiden. There's the Hololive Gen 1 Gaiden. That Matsuri Gaiden is basically the Hololive Gen 1 Gaiden, because for obvious reasons, Hato cannot be there. So just turn it into a Matsuri training arc. And even though if you're not using Matsuri and she's still a Cavalier, it's pretty fun to see the stats go up. Who knows, maybe if she gets pretty good levels, she can become a permanent unit because she promotes the Master Knight. But the thing I wanted to say about Anya is going back to her speed at 20. She has 20 speed. Now let's assume you rally speed her. That's 7. Darting blow, sits. That's already 6 plus 7. That's 13 speed. So that's 33 speed. And she doesn't have a bad speed growth at 40. My Anya got to level 20 with no redebuts. I forget what level she joined. I'm assuming it must be something. What's her HP go? 50? Let's just pretend she got a few levels, right? Like, let's say she got to 29. I think I might have given her a coffee, so make that 26. 26 speed plus the 13. That's still 39 speed. And it's a brave weapon. Which is why I say giving her the B-Sage seal is pretty good. Because then you kind of just even out both the strength and the magic difference. I mean, it does increase both strength and magic, so it's still kind of lopsided. But the thing is, you're going to face a lot of monsters with less resistance than they do have defense. So she can just melt through those guys. Like, I think either her or Bai are the best users for the B-Sage seal because of how much it helps them out. Bai for the crits, obviously. And then Anya pretty much depends if you go the Holo ID Gaiden. Like, a lot of the Holo ID units pretty much depend if you go under Gaiden or not. I would say Iofi is the least dependent one. Or maybe she got something out of it. I think she does get something out of it. I forget, because the ones I didn't manage to kill were Risu, and I think it was Ollie. Or Kyla. I don't remember. So my apologies. I'd have to look back at the footage. But all I know is that Reina gets a lot out of it, and so too Anya. Like, you gotta go to that Gaiden if you have them all alive, you have to take the Gaiden. If you're not using any of them, and you're not thinking of going to that Gaiden, you can just kill someone off. But I think the Gaiden's still pretty possible, even with Karis, Anya at base. Like, the units at base, as long as you have Iofi with rally speed, you should be able to take care of some of the enemies at least. Because the weakest one there is the Reina one. And if you don't plan on using Muna, which I probably think is the lesser of the whole idea ones, because I promoted her and stuff, and I just felt like I should have been using Matsuri more instead, but she's just there because of that one leadership. I would move Muna down, to be honest. Or maybe still better than Subaru in combat, but eh. But basically, Anya's a good unit. And she does effective damage against the monsters. And I haven't even looked at her skills like I said I was. Oh wait, I did. And she learns Blood Tide. I didn't have her learn Blood Tide, sadly. Maybe I must have missed her promotion. But she gets Antithesis, which is a really good weapon. And it's infinite use. Like, what don't you want out of this unit? Like, if you're struggling in combat, she's a good unit to have. You know? Maybe this will be more accurate. But Sora doesn't have the best combat, so I'll just put her there. I just think Anya's good. Like, all I can say for Anya and Kyla, they're good. They're decent. They're good. I don't need to say much, you know. Should we rate Ina? Nah, we're not rating Ina. We're rating Yabiris. Hooray. Now let's look at Iris's bases. 40 HP, 5 strength, 22 magic, 17 skill, 16 speed, 14 luck, 10 defense, 10 resistance, 8 move, 11 con, 1 leadership. Yeah, that's Yabiris for you, alright. Now, let's look at Iris's skills. She has 1 leadership and 11 con, like I said already. I already mentioned her skills a little earlier. I think I gave her Luna, if that's anything to go off by. She has Chaotic as well, and she also learns Critical Force. So, she can be a crit monster, and she can use both S-rank light and dark magic at the same time. C-rank lances, but that doesn't matter. Her strength is pretty low. You're incentivized to use magic on her because low strength, her growth rate probably isn't even that good in the strength department. In fact, let's just look at her growths. 35 HP, 10 strength. Yikes, with 5. Unless you're really dedicating, give her the engage rings to make her use the flame lance. I don't know. 50 magic, 45 skill, 50 speed, 30 defense and luck, and then 70 resistance. Yeah, she's all magic. I already talked about her a bit when I was trying to defend Mio a bit. But yeah, the growths are alright. Nothing too spectacular. Yeah, they're pretty good. Like, the 70 res is pretty outstandish. But her bulk can take a huge hit if you don't level her up too much. Let's see, how much did I use Iris? I don't think I used her much. But then I tried using her in some maps without leveling her up, which is probably why I have a low opinion of her. She has 5 more points of HP. And she has the same strength, 1 more point of magic. Interesting. I got magic screwed. 4 more skill. The speed. 4 more points of speed. Luck was at 15. She has 1 point of luck. The defense is at 2, and the resistance at 14. I think your virus is pretty good. She can be like a discount Flying Bay with some crit shenanigans on her. If anything, maybe I'll put her in B tier. Like right here. Because at that point in the game, you've already gotten some pretty good flying units. And then you get to Kanata later, who just has Resolve. Probably already makes her better at combat because Iris is not doubling anything with that 16 speed. I know someone like Mio has 17 speed, but she joins a lot earlier, so there's more chances to fix up the speed. But Iris's speed growth is higher at 15. Like, Iris definitely is a bit of a growth unit, I think. Like, she needs to grow a little bit, but it's only just a little bit. But she isn't taking many hits. Like, you're using her, it's on player phase. And the thing with Iris is that if you want to give her more skills, I don't think you can remove Lumina or Shadow Gift, because she needs those skills for her magic rank. I mean, does she lose Dark and Light from it, or does she just lose the high ranks? So she's losing 2 skill slots. And I know there's 2 personal skills that you can't remove, so she just has 2 free slots. And those are for her crits. And I think Luna's a good skill for her if it stacks up. But I think her magic base... Actually, nah, her magic base is decent. Mine just got a bad level. What was her base again? I forgot. 22. 22. And she has a 50 growth in it. So I definitely got screwed there in the magic. Maybe if I used her a bit more, she would be dealing more. But I think if you want a magic combat unit, she's pretty good for it. You know? Like, she can like, it's not she's gonna be like she's gonna be contributing much, but it's more so the fact of it's one leadership compared to like two leadership or something like that. And if you're using both Aki, Flying Nenechi, Choco, that's 3 flyers. Obviously, too many flyers is never a wrong thing because, you know, the way Fire Emblem works, flyers will always be king, except in FE4 where you want them horsies running around the road. Woohoo! But, I'm struggling to say things about Iris. Because, like, I think if I want a crit monster, I'll use Bay. And if I want a flying magic unit, I think I'll use Risu. She can combine both, but she doesn't really excel at much. And I think by the time you get her, you'd probably have Risu at a high magic rank, too. Like, I think the thing is that she's supposed to use Seiso Slight and Nelfin at the same time to make her work. But I don't think you need those weapons particularly too much. The game does give you a lot of options to Hermern. I think you can actually buy Hermern stuff. But no, buy the Warp Staff instead. Warp's just too good with all these high magic units that you get. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot Mio has a 60% growth in magic compared to Iris's 50. Iris has a higher base, so I'll give Iris that. But, sorry, I'm talking about Mio a lot now. And Iris does have a higher magic growth than Bai. So I think if you want a crit magic machine, you want Iris, but Bai's so much, you know, easily available to use in the early game that she might gain some levels. Then there's the promotion. She might reach a similar level of magic, just with more combat behind it. And Sages can use light magic too. So if you want Bai to use light magic, you can just train her up for it. It's just Iris just has the high ranks and flying at base. Like, she has good things at base, but nothing that really excels that much. I think she's alright. That's what I would say. I think she's alright. Having the one leadership definitely helps her a lot from going a little down. And also the S-Rank magic, so I'm just contradicting myself now. I just don't see her as part of the A club, but I definitely don't see her as part of the B club. But I feel like she fits B more than A. And in B club, I feel like Lami has more potential because of the power staff. And then Kyla's just there as, you know, a free 12 use of Hermern. And you get Kyla, you get Anya, I think, right? At least that's how it works. Basically, like in the Shrine of Seiso, you're already incentivized to beat the chapter quickly. You know, because of the walls and stuff, and because if you want to get Mio, she's gotta be there, you know? If you want Fubuki, I think she's also gotta be there. And Fubuki, like I said, best Phantom user in the game. Like, you're probably gonna get more out of Kurokami than you are as before some other 1-2 range options. Because I don't think her speed is that high, too. Let's see, she has 16 base speed. 16. That isn't particularly high, but you can get it there. You can get it there. Let's see, other units that have higher speed than her after her join are Kanata, Iroha, I'm not counting her, and Koyori. Another magic unit, Osana at 20, Towa doesn't matter. Mel at 23, and I think her speed is serviceable. Like I've said, I've already explained how rally speed / spectrum just helps out a lot. I think Iris is just alright. I really don't have much to say. I feel like a broken record. It feels more that she's just a chip bot that can go anywhere. But after her chapter, it seems like flying takes a bit of a downgrade. Yes, there's the Sana map, and she's gonna be really useful there. But you could just have her. Actually, no wait, yeah. I could put her above Kyla and Lami because of that. She's one of the Hololive EN Gen 2 people, which means she recruits Sana. She can fly, so she can get to Sana early. You know, so Sana doesn't do green unit shenanigans and probably dies. Like, I didn't level up. Actually, maybe she does belong in A. Like, it doesn't feel much, but you do feel it. Like, she can rescue people, like, on the lighter side, but there's many folks on the lighter side. She's not gonna need to rescue Miss Karis here. She can rescue Amelia. She cannot rescue Caillou. So, wah wah. Can she rescue Pecora, though? Because you probably might be using Rogue Pecora instead. Pecora. Yeah, she can rescue base Pecora. And if Rogue only gives one con, she's still able to carry Pecora and, you know, just do stuff. Like, she has utility if you don't want to use her for combat. And she can use the S-rank tomes because, you know, you can hammer them. There's a lot of hammering in the games. I should just accept the fact that, you know, use the powerful weapons. The game's not going to penalize you much for it, unless you break them, like I did with the candy staff, so I missed out on Laplace here. But obviously, you don't break them, you have the hammers. You cannot hammer the candy staff, but you can hammer the other weapons. Like, it's great that you can't hammer many staffs. Oh, that's another thing. Kyla can just hammer the physic if you lack physic, but there's a lot of chances in the game where you can capture or buy physics, so I'm not gonna count that for her. But Iris has like small utility things. I feel like some stat buffs would make her probably a bit too good. I don't think she needs it. She just needs a bit of love, and, you know, like, she can do cleanup. Because there's a lot of units here that will do great combat at the end, right? But they might be a few points short from killing. Like, let's say Null hits with a Brave weapon, but she doesn't proc her Colossus. Boom, that's a chip kill. Marine as well. If you're using Flare long term, that's also another thing. Because she got her strength nerf, so, you know, I don't think she's going to be doing the crazy stuff anymore. Heck, even to Laplace or Laplace. That cleanup's just good. I think even if you're just doing cleanup, that's still better than doing nothing. I scrolled down to get Kanata, but when I said nothing, my soul decided to look and stare at Okayu. I feel so sad for you, Okayu. I feel so sad. But you guys want to see someone who beats Null in strength? You want to see the... I'll let you take a guess while I read the base stats. Actually, Kanata has... Oh, wait a minute. I passed by. Kanata has 43 HP, 23 magic, 23 magic, 22 skill, 19 speed, 0 luck. Yikes. 20 defense, 22 resistance, 15 con, 8 move. 0 leadership. Like, there's a bunch of units here that don't have leadership. I think Kanata's pretty good. Now, let's read her growths. 85 HP, 50 magic, 40 skill, 30 speed, 25 luck, 45 defense, 25 resistance. Like, she has... The best growths of hers are HP and magic. She has high con, so she can capture them from far away. And she has resourceful, double bonus affected with multipliers. I already read that. She has Slayer, so she's a flying bishop just without the staffs. Death blow plus 20 crit. Yikes. Tome fair. So just pretend her magic stats actually 28. Resolve. When HP is under 50, she gains 1.5 times strength, skill, and speed. It's Path for Radiance resolve, so it's pretty good. And she has Desperation, so she's under 50% HP. She becomes a glass cannon. Like, she is glass cannon, you know? She's gonna hit hard with that magic. Oh, but wait a minute. You're right. Resolve affects strength. You're correct. How about we look at that strength base and growth? 60 base strength, and it's capped. What's her growth rate? 200. 200. And if the mic crackled a bit... 200. She has 200 growth, man. It's crazy, man. It's 200 growth. Yeah, 200 growth is insane, but she's never gonna use it. There are no physical light tomes in the game, and goodness gracious, there isn't either. Because... No. She'd probably one-shot most of the bosses in the game with that 60 strength. But something I want to bring to light is that under 50% HP, she could probably become a dodge tank. Like, let's just pretend she's under 50% HP. She's gonna be doubling everything on player phase, right? She has Death Blow, and that's plus 20 crit. Light Magic has inherent crit, like Aura has 15 crit, so 35. Then the skill gets doubled, right? She has 22 base skill, so make that 44. And the speed is 19, make that 38. With rally speed support. And that's 7 plus 38. That's 45 speed. What is she not doubling? But that's also the problem. There's no safe way to get her into that threshold because she's kind of slow. But she is kind of tanky too. But unfortunately, that's all she can do, just combat. But she can also do rescue drop utility like Iris, but she doesn't have the leadership star. But she has too much of an insane combat to not put her there. But I much value the super unit that Laplace can be at the end, because you're gonna want a super unit at the end. Maybe she can do a super unit shenanigans, just not in damage. And Marina, I'm just gonna keep her there because, you know, she can do funny cultured shenanigans. Maybe she's a bit like Aqua in that aspect. But Aqua's just pretty solid in general. Like, being sword locked isn't that bad. You know when you'll see a bunch of spear guys, or javelin guys, or hand axe guys, or hatchet guys, and they're like within the group of all the one range guys. And most of the swords in this game are magic, so if you got a magic stat and sword usage, you can do that. Let me just move Aski a little higher up, because she can promote the Magic Knight, the Mage Knight. If Mage Knights use swords, then keep her there. If she doesn't, then move her a little down. But I think she should be able to, right? Because it's a ROM hack with the strength magic split. Honestly, A tier is getting a little bloated. I could remove the Laplace portrait, but you can't have Laplace without Laplace. Without Laplace. If anything, maybe I'd move Marine to B, because that's all she's gonna be. Just you know, pirate moment. That doesn't sit well with me. Maybe it's favoritism, or maybe it's because I see potential in Warrior Marine before Pirate Marine. Like, I think these two fill a similar niche, but I think Kanata's a bit easier to get online. But Iris has a bit more versatility, so maybe this is right. Oh, and leadership too. Like, Kanata's just gonna be glass cannon, and the enemies will be pretty accurate thanks to leadership shenanigans and bonuses. So, unless she's killing, that's not gonna happen much. Like, she might need to dodge because of desperation. Let's see. What can I say about Kanata? Sorry for the yawn. Like, I did use Kanata a bit, and she was pretty decent at the combat. If anything, I think she's probably better than Iris in some of the later maps. Obviously, in the end game, you're gonna see some human units, no more monsters. But then, if you get Shiny Smiley Story as a map, I'm not sure if that's an optional map or a forced map, you know, because of the Demon King. Then I think that Kanata is just straight up better. Because sure, dark magic is great, but light magic can just one-shot monsters, basically. You know, she can take care of Draco zombies on the Sana map. And yeah, she can fly too in 15 con. She can do better transport than Iris. But Iris has that one leadership. Like, I think these two are about the same. Like, I think the unit you could argue that remove from A tier is probably Marine. but Marine has the white pool with the +5 AS and attack. And she can just stack that with some bows, with bow usage. Then she has Cultured from Amelia. Like, I think maybe Marine is better as a warrior than she is as a berserker. Like, promoted classes all hit their stat caps at 40, so stat caps aren't going to be an issue. If not, just the crit rate. But if that's the case, I'd much prefer her doing more consistent chip damage so she can still do that support. Like, heck, she could even help support Kanata and Iris on their things, too. So I think leaving Kanata and Iris there is fine. Because I don't think anyone else should go into S. Maybe Risu. Maybe Risu. But that's about it. But I'm not going to change Risu. Unironically, Korone could be there in S tier. She's just too good in combat. Like, Korone is an important unit to have, but she joins just so much later than most of the units in A tier and most of the units in S tier. Like, she joins after Chloe. She joins after Botan, Pecora, Ebei, Nenechi, Laplace, Marine, Sora, Kiara, Fauna, Polka, Flare, Mume, and all of these. So that's my argument for not putting Ekoron in S tier. Like, if you're optimizing the game a little better than me, then maybe Korone just goes down a bit. But Korone is just too good. Which distracted me again from Kanata and Iris. I think Kanata feels like a similar niche to Korone. Just that range. But unlike Korone, hers is a bit more conditional. So I'm not sure how much you want to count that. Because they both have crazy con and move. But I think Korone is just more consistent. And the fact that Korone just takes no damage from most things. Like, she's still taking damage, just a bit less damage. Like, Kanata really is the glass cannon. But if Kanata were able to use her strength stat... Ooh, let's just say then that would be a reason to remove the whole gorilla gimmick from her in the game. But speaking of gimmicks, we have our Manakete here. And I think she's gonna go into a solid B tier. Alright. But let's go look at Kiryu Koko stats real quick. Or as other people would say, it's friend C. Friend C. Alright. Let's trade with someone so we can have her equip the Dragonstone. Not the Dragonstone minus. Now the Dragonstone, just like in FE8, it's a 50 use weapon. She learns Dragon Fang 1.5 times the damage skill percentage activation, so she can hit hard. She has nice personality, which is great. And Dragon's Blood, so she can use Dragon Veins. I don't think you need Dragon Veins that much, but the fact they're there is pretty nice. And now let's look at the Dragonstone stats. 15 might, 100 hit, 1 range doi, 0 weight. I mean, why would a stone like that, why would that little stone weigh something? 15 crit. And Dragonstone minus is 1 to 2 range, 12 might, 70 hit, 10 crit. And with Dragonstone plus, Kiriko has gets plus 15 to her strength, plus 15 to her skill, plus 15 to her defense, and plus 20 to her resistance. And she also comes with Asakoko, which raises her skill and strength and magic, but lowers the other stats, not HP. And now Dragonstone minus makes her bulkier, funny enough, but she gains less skill and strength. Like those plus 5s, they go into raising her defense and resistance. Like, she's definitely tankier with the Dragonstone minus. So Dragonstone minus is like the enemy phase weapon, and Dragonstone regular is the player phase weapon. I think Kiryu Koko is, friend C is probably, she's like Mur. You gotta train her up, but she gains those level ups pretty quickly. And the Dragon Veins are there pretty nice. She's not gonna be doubling much. And her bases really aren't that relevant because you're gonna be using the weapon on her to one-shot things. But you want her strength to go up. So, yeah, you want her strength to go up. Let's read her stats. 35 HP, which is pretty low. And then all her base stats, aside from defense, are on the single digits. And she also has 5 move. I'll read them to you now. She has 6 strength, 7 magic, 4 skill, 8 speed, 6 luck, 5 defense, 10 res. But her growth rates, obviously since she's a dragon, they're a different story. She has 90 strength, 85 magic and skill, 65 speed, 30 luck, 150 defense, and 130 HP and 30 resistance. She also has 5 con, so she can be rescued pretty easily. But her move is 6. I think the way you could use Kiryu Koko is if she can take a hit, she can just probably deal with some of the stronger monsters in the game. If she can take a hit, she's probably going to be able to take a hit. You can use Asakoko to change her base stats, essentially. So too the other units, like anyone can use the Asakoko. There is a description saying don't use this, because it says raises addiction. I think that's a bit of a joke. But honestly, if it didn't lower your speed, I think you could use it for glass cannons, but then that's the problem. So I think the Asakoko really is just perfect for Kiryu Koko, because she's gonna get plus 20 from Dragonstone minus, and I think she's getting plus 10 from Dragonstone already. So if you get Dragonstone minus, you can just use the Asakoko to. She's gonna lower her speed too, but her strength stats just gonna go bonkers. So she's gonna be a one-shot machine. Like, I leveled mine to 20 and she's still at 23 strength. So you could definitely use the Asakoko to just make her hit harder. But then, you know, that comes with a price. You know, she's not gonna be a glass cannon that, oh, she doubles. No. She's a glass cannon that she hits hard. You want it or not? And also, I forgot, there is a Delphi shield in this game. It's called the Yab shield. Sorry about forgetting. I think she's alright in there. I think she's a solid B. Because you could definitely play the game without using her. But there is a Gaiden with her and Kanata, and they're the only ones that can really realistically attack. Obviously, you can probably promote Luna and have her attack, but she's not going to have the stats for it. Heck, Kanata doesn't really have the stats to survive much. She's going to be relying on desperation. But like, a trained up Kiryu Koko just makes that Gaiden pretty easy. Because it really is just those 4 units plus Watame. Yeah, Watame's in that chapter, right? Or was it really just 4? I forget. No, wait, yeah. It is just Towa, Kiryu Koko, Luna, and Kanata. Like, I don't think she goes a bit higher than B. Because if you break her, because you can't hammer her Dragonstone, but you do get unlimited uses of the Dragonstone minus, which I think could be better because 1-2 range, but it also has 70 hit. So think about Dragonstone, the regular one, as a more of a resource. And then Dragonstone minus as probably your main weapon of use. She can be pretty tanky. That's pretty cool. I think she's probably better long-term than Kanata and Iris. Because she just levels up so quickly. Pretty good growths, too. She can be a good candidate for re-debut. Or just use the Asakoko on her and have her be a one-shot machine. Because she also deals effective damage, I think it is. Yeah, she deals effective damage. But, yeah. I think she just stays in B. Like, she's good. She's good to train up, to help with those things. But, you know, you could unironically just not go with her. Because you have other options, like Lamy, like Power Staff Lamy. Maybe Mage Knight and Master Knight Shenanigans. But she's probably better than most or some of the units here because of her effective damage and combat for that point in the game where you're facing mostly monsters. She falls off, I think, hard when you start getting maps with human units again. Then that becomes a big problem. But if she's in maps with monsters, then that's where she shines. So it pretty much depends on how you use her. But I don't think she's like a unit to use in like everything. But this is mainly more for Yabai. But if you're playing this on Seiso, I don't think there's any homogenous things, just like in regular Fire Emblem, like some people say. Because I think everyone's just good. Like, you could definitely make her double. Or just have her be the one-shot machine Kanata wants to be with her strength in Seiso. Heck, even on Yabai, because of the Asakoko, like I mentioned, you get two. You get two Asakokos. You know what two means, right? You get two of them. Maybe if Okayu's speed growth was like something crazy, I could give her an Asakoko and make her a glass cannon. But nah, that's still not fitting up Okayu. But I think Asakoko's pretty neat. In fact, you could give it to... Honestly, you could give it to one of the crazy speed stacking units. If they're lacking in the damage, but you think you can sacrifice their bulk for that. Maybe you can use it on Chloe to make her use the sleep sword, basically. Like, that's another thing. All of these sword users you get, they can use the sleep sword, so they can go and use sleep sword. But since that's something everyone can do, Okayu's still not going up. But I think thanks to, like, the sleep sword and maybe Kiryukoko's damage output, she can help with the captures a lot. But the thing with Kiryukoko is that she's probably either one-shotting or she's gonna get hit pretty easily. It all depends, basically, on how you use her. Like, she's not a unit that that you can say, oh, I have a clear plan for her. No, you're just gonna treat her like Mur, basically. And Mur is pretty good in Sacred Stones for the end of the thing. But you know, she's got limited stone uses. So it's like, yeah, you got a great, powerful delete button machine, or at least a machine that deletes 40 HP, the 30 compared to like 20 times 2, and 10 can take hits. But you gotta remember, you have limited uses on that. So until you get the Dragonstone minus. But if you don't get the Dragonstone minus, I think Kiryukoko just falls off hard. Honestly, with Dragonstone minus, she could probably go into the bottom of A, but I think she still goes in B. She has effective damage, like I've said before, but then you have Kanata doing effective damage. But she can also fly, but she has Sid's move, so you're not going many places with that. You're going at infantry pace, honestly. And if you want a delete button, you have Korone right here. Like, Korone is probably the best delete button in the game. I just think Kiryukoko's alright. Like, sure, she's in B tier here, but that doesn't mean much. Like, she's a late game, gotta get it online unit type of beat. But she's probably the best Draco zombie tank in the game if she gets her hands on Dragonstone minus. Or the best Draco zombie delete button in the game if you get her in range of them. I just think, like, if she had the Dragonstone minus way earlier, she'd be a super A tier, or maybe, but not S. But she has to wait for it, so maybe B. Because Dragonstone is great, but let's be honest, that's limited use, so it's more of a resource until you get your hands on Dragonstone minus. But I think she can do a lot more than some of these other units can do. But I still think her use is kind of limited compared to what some of these units can do. But still better than Okayu. Okayu's just gonna sit there and see. And speaking of B's and C's, let's pick a Yori. I'm gonna rate these two probably the same. Now, I mean, not on the same tier, but the same at the same time. You know, I think here is fine. Now, let's go to Koyori first, since I can get her out of the way first. She starts out as an underleveled pre-promote. She has stats that cap at 40. Or maybe it's a bit of a plus situation and she can promote. I didn't use her much. Like, a lot of these units I didn't use much. So I'm just rating them based on what they could be doing. Let's see. Koyori the Koyori, yeah. 40 HP, 0 strength, 21 magic, 19 skill, 18 speed, 10 luck, 12 defense, 17. No, 27 resistance, 6 move, 10 con. I talked about her a bit when trying to Neo cope, as the young kids would pull it. Where did I put my Coyote? Oh, she's at the bottom. Yeah. Coyote can use anima, like all types of magic, and she doesn't learn any skills. But she has culture. If attacking next to nice dice, move again. Minus 50 hit against units with nice dice. Wind Disciple. So, and Reina has that, so she's gonna hit and avoid a lot if she gets like an HP level up. Tone Breaker. Plus 50 hit and avoid when an enemy has a tone equip. And plus 20 hit. She's not losing much hit to units with nice dice. And her growth rates are pretty decent too. Never expect that strength to go up, so she's probably the worst explosion tome user in the game. Excuse me. She has 55 magic, 40 skill, 50 speed, 45 luck, 30 defense, 40 resistance, 60 HP. I think she's one of the better leveled up units in the game, because at base she gets doubled. But that isn't fair because she faces a lot of physical units. If she were facing magical units, I think she'd just be, it would be unfair to them. I didn't look at her skills that much. Hold on, I forgot that. Oh wait, I did. Never mind. I'm just thinking about someone else. Okay, but the thing with Coyote is that she can feel like she's like Mio, but more dedicated to defeating mages and stuff. But at that point, you're probably gonna get mage tanks, so she might feel a little useless. But I don't think she's gonna be that bad, because remember, the Holoette's Gaiden, I think, has a bunch of mages. I'm gonna go to FE Builder and just look at the map. Let's see. Open up. Search for Seiso. Yeah. Open it up for me, baby. It's not opening up. I'm scared. Oh, it's not responding. Great. Oh, no, wait. It is responding. Yay. All right. Let's go to... chapter 25. 25. No, wait, what the heck is this? 25x. Oh, wait, what is this? Wait. I think there's like two. There's two chapter 25 X's, huh? How do you get this one though? Maybe it's an unused one. There's also chapter 25 X that I didn't get. There's 4 green units there. I don't know what those green units are. I think they're supposed to represent Mume, Sana, and Miko. Yeah, Laplace. Here we go. Laplace X. Let's see here. It seems you can field a lot of units. And from what I'm looking at, there's a Kishuna magic seal type of unit. There's also one in the academy, so don't worry. There's some Gorgons there. And there are some of these magic monster guys with miracle and stuff, which is pretty good. And there's a lot of physical units too. This map really is anti-Coyote. Oh dear. But assuming this... Yeah, I think it is. Assuming this Gaiden works similar to how the other Gaidens work, then you have Coyote as probably your only magic user, because the other Holoette's members plus Zeta are... It seems you can use a melee on this map, so that's nice. You and Louis Holoette's, Coyote's obviously Holoette's, Iroha's Holoette's, and then Sakamateko is Holoette's, and then obviously there's Laplace/Laplace Holoette's as well. So that's 6 units. She's our only magic user. There's a lot of physical units, so she can help to chip that. Like, I think she's pretty decent. That's all I'd say, decent. I don't think I used her much outside of her base chapter. So I think her ranks are almost the same. I'd need to check. I never used light magic on her, it's still at B. I never used stats with her, so it's still at B. I only used Anima and Dark. And Dark is B, Anima is A. She feels like a lesser meal. If anything, probably like a player phase meal because of Cultured. So, I think she's alright. She's alright. But, you're probably gonna have a lot of mage options there. Like, her biggest contribution is Laplace. And if you don't get the Laplace chapter, then she kind of just goes a bit lower. But I think this is also just fine. Because if this is anything like the other guidance, you can probably get away with not having to train most of the units. If not, maybe the stats are low enough. But most of the enemies there were promoted. So I think this really much is an Aroha carry chapter if you didn't train up anyone. And this chapter comes after chapter 24, the Underworld Throne. Like, you know, after that, and then you get Retribution, which is a single chapter. Rising Reunions, Broken Dreams. I wonder what these chapters are, though. They seem a little glitched, though, I think. But, you know, after that, you know, that, like, chapter 25 is an Amelia-focused chapter. And you get Kojoro in chapter 20. You can't use her Knight's Redemption. That's the Gen 1 Gaiden. Then you have Portal, which you can train her up here. But you're probably going to be tight on spaces on this one. Actually, you could have a lot of spaces for her. But you want Fauna here if you're using Fauna so she can get Rally Spectrum. But yeah, you want to rush to that gate as soon as possible. Like, the chapter ends once you open that door. You can feed her on some of the units here. That's a good training chapter. Then none of the guidance are good for her because you can't use them. Then you got chapter 22, which is the Sana chapter. I'm Not Alone. There's going to be a bunch of flying enemies, reinforcements. Good for training. The academy, you want to speed through. So if you're not training up Koyori here, if you feel like you don't want to train her on this map, and this map is 3. This map is 3, I mean, this chapter is 3 maps long. This, like, sorry for saying a lot of things, but yeah, you're gonna have to rush in a lot of times, you know? You're not going to be like, oh, hey, can I have time to train her up? No. And how much move does she have again? She has Sit's move? Yeah. And she has, I think that's 50 speed growth. Like, her growth rate isn't bad. Her bases, I already read them. And her base speed is 18. And that's not too slow for at that point in the game. But the fact that she joins in chapter 20 kind of is a detriment to her. Because she can chip the enemies, yeah, but you gotta be careful where you are. If not, you're just gonna be relying on Iroha. But you also don't want Iroha to be fighting much because she only has Chikamaru, her personal weapon. You can Hamurn it, but you don't want to Hamurn it at the same time. You know, because you maybe want to use Chakimaru. Yeah, it is Chakimaru a bit more, you know? And she doesn't have any leadership either. I think she could be excused to have some leadership. She isn't the leader of Hollow Ats, so maybe not. But I think just having one because she's a scientist could be a thing. But I think she just serves her purpose there. And she isn't really replaced by anyone else aside from Mio. Because she can use all magic types. Uh, and she has like a different type of feel to Mio. Mio's not gonna do much damage, I'll be honest with you. But Coyote can take a lot of magic damage. Like, she is the mage slayer probably of the game. And not an effective damage. Like, maybe a trained up Coyote is better for the two groups of sages that you fight in the final map of the game. Before the final map of the game. Like, the final map if you don't get Shiny Smiley Story, basically. And I need to know if Shiny Smiley Story is optional or forced. That's what I need to know. But she does have that use, I will say. It's better than some of these that don't have much of a defined use. But she's also not that too amazing. But she can use Physic at base, and then you can just level her staff rank up easily for Warp. Like, she's one rank away from Warp. Whereas me, I think she starts out at C or at B. I think all her magic ranks were at C, and then staff was at B. She has better magic ranks than Mio and joins only 3 chapters later. Actually, another A tier unit. But she has a lot worse combat than some of these. So maybe here is fine. Because her combat's a bit lacking, but her utility is pretty nice. Because mages. Maybe that's a bad take. I'll have to check soon. But actually, I think I might want to talk about her contemporary, like her partner, Iroha, a bit more. I dare say. Who did I put her at? At A tier, like almost an S tier unit. Probably the closest S tier unit in the game that isn't Crony here. Alright, let's go look at Iroha. Yay! Oh wait, I didn't even read Coyote's growths. My apologies. Let's just continue with Coyote real quick. 60 HP, 0 strength, 55 magic, 40 skill, 50 speed, 45 luck, 30 defense, 30 resistance. Never mind, maybe I was wrong about the resistance part. Like, Coyote feels like a bit of a, do you need her to fill something that in your army type of unit. And she's like probably one of the more accurate mages you get in the game. Because there's accurate physical units, but there isn't many accurate mages. And I think she has some use for that. I just think Coyote has like the worst first impression because it really does feel like she's really vulnerable. Whereas, we'll talk about Iroha right now, feels more, yeah, she got it covered. But let's start with Iroha with her growth rates. 35 hit points, 40 strength, and 0 magic, 70 skill and speed. 45 luck, 30 defense and resistance. And she's basically a swordmaster in class. So, yeah, swordmaster moment, yay! Now let's look at her bases. 40 HP, 19 strength, 10 magic, 15 luck, 8 defense, and 8 resistance. 6 con, 12 move. No, wait, not 12 move. I mean 12 con, 6 move. Yeah. You noticed how I skipped her speed and skill? Because it's 45. It's 45. And her personal weapon? Chikamaru? Chakimaru? I mean, I keep saying it so incorrectly. It's a 1 range weapon, okay. But it's 10 might, 120 hit, 20 crit, 6 weight. Doesn't matter because she's got 12 con. And gives plus 5 skill and 10 speed. So effectively, she has 55 speed and 50 skill. And she has high growths in those, so in 5 levels, she's probably gonna have 50 skill and speed. Then that's 60 speed, basically. Like, obviously, her damage output won't be too much in some regards. But let's look at her skills real quick. Quick draw, plus 4 damage when initiating in battle. Then her strength should essentially be 23 because she has Swordfare. Astra, nice thighs, death blow, and crit boost. Like, Iroha and Coyote really work together in that first map. They join together. Like, the thing with Koyori is that she's barely killing units in 2 hits. Like, she needs a bit of magic help in Yabai. Iroha doesn't need the help, obviously, as shown here. She's gonna crit or proc Astra, which is skill percentage activation. So if you cap her skill, that's a 55% chance. Then if you rally skill or rally spectrum, that's 62% chance. She also has death blow, so she can probably crit within one of those. And then the Swordmaster 15 crit rate. Like, you could not use Koyori, but Iroha has, you know, she can be used by herself. And she has nice ties. And you know what that means? More cultured moments for Miko and for Marin. And she can help deal with some of the super units in the final map. Alongside Marine's White Tide. And then Marine can also get help from her nice ties. And so can Miko. Koyori definitely is you gotta level her up to get her stats going. But it's like, you know, she's giving a bad impression because she joins Nets to Iroha, who's insane. I would say Iroha is probably lower than these 3 before her. Because she joins much later. And remember, after that, she's there for Chapter 21. Then it's portal time. And yeah, she does have Chapter 22. But you could honestly just play the game without needing Iroha until the very end and then level her up. And if you don't want to level her up that much or use her as a bit of a Jagan, you can just use her as like with an iron sword, or heck, use a sleep sword with her, and then she'll just, you know, hit the unit once and let them go to sleep, you know, or use her as a bit of a dodge tank. Honestly, I regret not using Iroha more. Why didn't I use her more? If anything, she can probably go into S tier for making the late game a bit easier. If anything, probably this, because I think Null might be the worst S tier unit now because of the nerfs. But I think Reina should get a lot of S because you go to the Holo Indonesia guide, and like I've said many a time, she gets, repeat it with me, she gets the stats up to speed and she gets Dire Thunder. Like, come on. Like, if Choco's your important late game, mid game unit, Iroha's probably your important late game unit. There's not much to say about Iroha. She's just good. She is the epitome of Swordmaster. You know, and I still have a lot of units to talk about, and I'm not sure they're gonna be as good as Iroha here. Let's see how many units you got left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one essentially joins in chapter 25. We do get to play on chapter 25, right? Retribution? No, we don't. No. She joins on chapter 26, basically. So, like, yeah, these two just join at the end of at the final map of the game, basically. But now that we've gotten to the portal, we're gonna get to the segments where if you got certain units alive, like, you're getting to those guidance. If some certain units died, you're probably not getting those guidance. At least that's the way I think it is. Let's say your Roboko died somehow. You're not getting her guidance. And then probably not much of a loss because Roboko gets the best use of it. Like, the guidance are much better for some units than they are for others. Like, the Gamer's Guidance really is just the Corone Crit Fest. And, like, you want to go to that guidance just for Corone's promotion. Like, you got a bone there. I mean, it's a Yubi. I think you get it by killing the boss. Yeah, you gotta kill the boss for the Yubi. Like, you wanna promote Corone, you gotta kill the boss for the Yubi. And Corone then becomes a delete button for the end of the game. And probably, you know, more move than Iroha. So while Iroha's taking care of units, Corone's already going into enemy lines. But I still think Airo has S because she doesn't need to grow like Corona. She can just stay at base and then do delete stuff at the end. Her strength is a little low for what you want the delete button to do. But you want her to double and hit. And that's the important part. Oh, and so she has a lot of skill and speed. Her being affected by the leadership stars doesn't matter as much. In fact, Chapter 24 can be a pain. And so can, let's see, what's the map name called? Coexistence? Yeah, they can be huge pains. But honestly, you kind of want her, to just hit and dodge. Because that's all she's going to be her best at. Because damage dealers, you probably got better options. But she's the only one that can hit. Like, Aroha's just good. And speaking of units that are just good, I think Iofi is pretty good. If anything, probably like this. Let's get the thing out of the way. Yeah, she's an alien. That's why she's in a spacesuit. She also loves the arts. That's why she's covered in paint. But the thing about Iofi, right, is that she's part of Among Us, but she's not sus like Seta. Like Seta, the only thing she learns is how to not be sus, and that's pretty sus if you ask me. Like, I don't think I ever used the redebut on Iofi, but you definitely could use it on her. She joins at level 20 with cap is like, I definitely gave her some stat boosters. She likes cockroaches and Sora. Interesting. And I think I might have given her culture or desperation because she has ideology and quick draw. And 14 con, which is pretty good. Let me look at her bases. Like, her growths don't matter if she joins at level 20. She joins at level 20. Alright, 60 HP, 22 strength, 1 magic, 22 skill, 22 speed, 22 luck. I mean, not 22 luck, 17 luck, 16 defense, 10 resistance, 6 move, and 14 con. Let's see, did I give her any stat boosters? It probably wasn't speed. Oh wait, I think Iofi does level up, right? I guess she leveled up a bit too quickly for me then. Huh. I might be dumb. I guess she does level up. She also has the Among Us in her hair, in the portrait. Oh my goodness. Like, it's right here. Where did I put her? I was looking at the ROM for her skills. Right here, there's the Among Us. And her growth rates are 80 HP, 55 strength, 15 magic, 40 skill, 45 speed, 25 luck, 35 defense, 25 resistance. Those are pretty low. Like, her best growths are strength and speed and HP. And honestly, I think that's all she wants. Because, ooh, 3 move. Where's she getting 3 move from? Oh, yeah, that's right. I gave her the Dark Sphere. If anyone's a good user of the Dark Sphere, it's probably Iofi. I forgot to tell this about Corone. It's a item that gives +3 move. Either Iofi or Corone are probably the best users of it. I say Iofi because she has some really interesting weapons. The only weapon she can use. The Glock, which is a peripheral weapon. It's a bow, 1-2 range, weight 10, 20 might, 75 hit, 20 crit. And then the Sus, that means effective against everyone. Peripheral weapon, evil, 15 might, 1 range, 80 hit, 5 weight, 5 crit. And the Sus is effective against monsters and Among Us's. I mean, crewmates. And their description says Susibaka. But the thing with Iofi is that she can be a monster deleter too, just like Ayame. She can do it at 2 range. And I want to put her a little higher up because it's thanks to her you can do the Whole Alive Indonesia Gaiden. Last time I'll mention it. I think. Because let's assume you didn't train Risu, you didn't train Muna. Those two are unpromoted units that if you want them to get EXP, you could get them there, but they're gonna slow you down a lot. And then you have Zeta and Kobo? Kobo could probably use some help from rally speed, but she's never going to be doubling much. Zeta's probably your second best unit there. I think Iofi is probably the easier unit to level up. Wait, does she join at base 20? Because the guidance in chapter 21 ets. So it's like you get Iofi, right? You get Iofi in the Among Us chapter. And there's basically only one unit you fight there, it's the boss. Yeah, Identity. Yeah, it's called Identity. That's the ID one. Wait, I think I might be going crazy. I definitely gave her some coffee for her speed, because I think her speed is a little on the low side. But she makes decent use out of it, simply because to not get doubled. Let's see here. I have the chapter around here, just revisiting the footage, honestly, because I really must have forgotten something. I don't think she joins with the ability to level up. Okay. Also, you can rescue the crewmates in the chapter, in the guidance chapter. So, you know, you can do that. And the way you can tell that she's the one you can... Oh, she does join with 70 base HP. Her bases are wrong here. My apologies, everyone. Her bases are wrong. I didn't stack them up, I guess. I'll have to tell that soon. But yeah, Iofi... she with 74 HP, she doesn't have the best bulk, but she's definitely taking a lot of hits. It's definitely thanks to her that you can do the Whole Life Indonesia guidance without needing much help. Like, obviously, she can shoot some of the weaker units there. She can also shoot Rain at, like, you know, just to kill her. She's probably gonna have a hard time against the Anya one because it's Brave. But she also does a decently great job against the Muna one. Like, the most threatening ones there are Anya and Risu. But the only reason I was able to do the Anya one is because I had leveled up Anya. Like, if you had your Risu leveled up, and I'm assuming you might because she's a bit overtuned, apparently, the chapter becomes a lot easier. Definitely would not recommend using Muna much, even though she has 1 leadership. If you want a 1 leadership bot, use Iris. Use Iris instead of Muna. But yeah, I think she gets to go up there because she is essential to getting Reina's promotion online, you know? And you get her in a chapter where it's impossible to, like, kill her. Because if she dies, it's a game over because it's a Gaiden. And if you got every other Whole Life Indonesia member, then once she's there, it's guaranteed. It's like, she's just a free unit. And she contributes a lot to the team by making Reina usable again. And making Reina usable again means you have a rally speed available to you. So you might not need it because if you're using Fauna, you have 2 rally spectrums. But if you're not using Fauna, right, but you're still using Kiara, because let's be honest, rally spectrum is too good. Rally spectrum is too good to give away just like that. Rally speed is still there. Like, Kiryu Koko has good stats everywhere, but her speed's gonna be a little middling, right? Rally speed. Iofi doesn't do much. Rally speed. Mio isn't that fast. Rally speed. Amelia isn't that fast either. Rally speed. Corona's having trouble doubling someone. Rally speed. And there's also reposition. Sure, Chloe's got that too, but having 2 repositions probably helps you out a lot more than just 1, you know? It's like having 2 flyers that are doing nothing except rescue utility, you know? They're still good, even though they're not doing the combat. You're probably not going to need too many combat units as long as they can take a hit. So, Iofi is just kind of essential, I think. She kind of does feel like a bit of a Jagan, too. She's there to help the Hololive ID members finish their Gaiden if their stats still aren't up to par. Or just get Reina. Like, she Jagans the Jagan. I don't know what you want to make out of that. And here's the thing. It's not... like the hardest one to get here is probably either Muna or Ollie. Ollie because it's more of a secret event. And Muna because you have to talk to her with Pecora. And Pecora's on the other side of the mountain. Actually, maybe Ollie's the harder one to get because you need Rushia, who's right here. You need her to be alive to get Ollie. Because Muna can be easy to get, just rescue drops. So, yeah. I think Iofi's just decent. She's good. She's good, you know. She's good. You don't need much for her, you know. You don't need it. Like, you might not... Like, I want to say you don't need her too much at the end. You're probably going to have units that do the things she does. But she's there, right? To help your Holo ID units have an easier time on what I think is probably one of the harder Gaidens of the game. I have not played the Laplace one, but I think the Laplace one's plenty hard. So do what you will when it comes to that. I'm trying to find Iofi's bases here on FE Builder so I can write them properly. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I think she was leveled up with Stat Calculator rather than the bases for the Among Us class. You know, this is a good thing. Where is the crewmate class? It's gotta be at the bottom because it's one of the newer classes added. See, there's Doog, there's infantry. Hold on, everyone, hold on. I think I've seen it. Nope, there's Commander, which is Noel's tier 3 class. Noel got promoted. She can now use lances, axes, and swords. Yay! But yeah, like, Iofi's just out there. This crewmate, one of the best units you need in the game. It seems she did get leveled up with the unit level ups instead of the class bases. So she joins at level 20. But enough of her. Let's go to... we can't go up? Okay, she's not gonna go there, everyone. No, I just need to move a bit further up. Yeah. If anything, maybe she's the worst S plus unit, or second worst. It's just, here's the thing, it doesn't feel fair to Lamy, because I'm putting Towa, the power staff user, this high up, and Lamy's probably a better power staff user. You know, just for that, I'll put her just here at A tier. The thing with Towa that I want to say, right? She has 30 base magic, because her other stats really don't matter aside from skill. And she has how much base skill? 19, not that high. Her HP is 36, 17 speed, 14 luck, 21 resistance, and 23 defense, 14 con, 6 move. Pretty good, pretty good. What about those growth rates? What are you telling me with those growth rates, Towa? Let's see here. Strength doesn't matter. She can literally only use staffs, but it's 30%. 65 magic, 60 skill, 40 speed, 30 luck, 20 defense, 35 resistance, 40 HP. HP doesn't matter either. You don't want her to take a hit. She's like really slow. Okay, not that slow. I'm exaggerating, but it's a 40 growth. And you want her away from the front lines. Like, you just want her magic to go up. If you have abundance of magic rings, yeah, you want her to take it. She also has inspiration. Allies within 2 tiles deal +2 damage and receive -2 damage. She also has Holy Aura. I guess it's there for aesthetics because, like, let's be honest, she's actually an angel in disguise of being a devil. Uh, minus 33 magic. She could have used more. And she joins with a high staff rank. I think it really is just S. And that means she has 15 spaces worth of magic range. Let's look at Lami's magic. I want to compare something. She has 13 magic, okay? But what's her growth rate looking like? 30... No, that's her strength. 50 magic. I might have been wrong about Lami now that I think about it. Maybe Lami is the better power staff user in the game. But I would say the problem with Lami is that you have to get her there. Yeah, like she's a you have to get her there type of unit. Family has ties with Peckle try her water. Yeah, I know, it's alcohol. Let's see, her unit base stats say she has 12 magic. And her stat calculator says that she'll reach 37 magic, right? Now, let's look at her class bases. Actually, no, I have her base magic right here. Her base magic, it's 13, I already said that. So, and her growth is 50. She has 4 levels left, I think. So it's a coin flip for each level up. Let's assume she got 2 level ups within those 4 and then promoted. She's gonna have 20 magic. Like, I think they're gonna have the same amount of magic. Lami's probably gonna be contributing more. Actually, I think they're both pretty good. Maybe I've been too harsh on Lami. Maybe Lami gets to go to A and Coyote gets to go to B because of that. Like, she's a power staff user. What do you want me to say? Power staff. Yeah, get interaction when using the staff. Like, if there's anyone she can be compared to, it's definitely Towa. I have a promoted Lami. She has 16 magic. But she was promoted at, I think, 1 level above her base. And then got 2 levels as a sage. But the thing with Lami is that she needs to get there. She has C rank staffs. So, I mean, she could get B staffs, but she's still gonna have to get there. She has sealed magic, which is pretty nice. And charm. I mean, charisma. Like, this is, with, like, yeah, charisma. Grants plus 10 hidden away to all allies within 3 tiles. Yeah, that's FE. That's Thracia charm. Focus plus 10 crit on allies within 3 tiles. And seal magic. But 17 con. Like, Thoa can't capture, but she can definitely hold captured units. Like, Thoa's definitely the super focused support unit. And she comes with 30 magic at base. And Lami's probably joining at a point where you're gonna have to spread the holo emblems a bit around. But having 2 power staff users is great. Maybe I was too harsh on Lami. But the thing with Lami, right? Like I already said, Miko's there doing stuff with Cultured. And she's getting Cultured the moment she hits level 21. So she's gonna be doing a lot more than Lami. Like, Lami's just gonna get outpaced, you know, by the time she gets the power staff. So it would be an early promote to then have her do combat to then get to power staff. But at that point in the game, power staff really isn't doing much. Like, I'll be honest, once you pass some parts of the early game, aka the ones with a heavy amount of halberdiers and stuff, then the game gets a little easier. Like, it's the Fire Emblem cycle. Like, the early games can be pretty rough on the harder modes, then the mid game's kind of a break. Then in some games, depending on how it goes, the late game becomes a non-stop ride of testing your power. Or in some games, it's just the mid game, but a bit worse designed. Like, probably the GBA games suffer of this the most, because except for FE6, but FE6 has way too big of a map, way too big of maps to have them be really too enjoyable to most people. But I'm getting off track here. Like, I'm just saying Lami's not gonna have a fun time getting to power staff, and once she does, you're not getting the fun staffs till later in the game. In fact, you get the fun staffs at the shop Towa's in, and Towa joins with a rescue and a silence, I think, at base. Yeah, she joins with a rescue at base. So Towa's giving you a free rescue as well. And Towa's also giving you the Gaiden that gives Kiryu Koko the Dragonstone minus. Lami's not contributing much. She's giving you the escape Gaiden. Yeah, there are some treasures there. I mean, that is where you get Everlasting Soul, so I'll take that back. Never mind. Everyone contributes to their Gaiden. I just feel like Power Staff on Lami isn't as good as Power Staff would be on Towa. Like, sure, they're gonna be doing the same thing, but Towa's gonna have that consistent 30 magic there in S rank staffs already, and she can help with the captures and stuff. But Lami, she's only a 7 con, so she's not gonna be helping out with capture. Like, she will become a staff bot. Honestly, if you're not using someone higher than her for staffs, then, you know, she's probably better. I think A tier is good for her because of Power Staff. But the thing is, she's gonna get outpaced by Miko. And then you get her in what chapter? You get Lami in what chapter compared to Towa? Like, you got Towa pretty late. Chapter 23, I'll admit that. So maybe Towa gets to go down a bit. But Power Staff is just too good. Let's see. Maybe I'm just a Lami hater. Because she caused me to lose a bunch in Whole Life Treasure Island. Wait a minute. Why am I looking at her in the game? Ooh, her bulk is pretty bad. Ooh. 2 defense. Yikes. But she has decent HP. Now let's go to the chapter list, chapter by chapter. Let's see. Shenanigans, no. It's Secret Society of Hollow Ets where you get Lami. You can recruit her with Polka, Botan, or Nenechi. One of the two. I mean, one of the 3. That's chapter 9. Pecoland's Princess. You get no one in this chapter. I think this is the chapter where Lami will get most of her level ups in. But the rest of the maps, yeah, I don't think there's much use for them. Heck, even in the Oni, it's a gen exclusive type of Gaiden because you're using Subaru, Choco, and Shion, and you got a Yame there too. Like, let's say you promote her. Like, let's say you get her level 20 thanks to the Pecoland's Princess. Because I think she joins in chapter 10 is a more fair assumption to say things rather than chapter 9, because in chapter 9 you're going to be dealing with reinforcements and stuff. Like, yeah, actually no, never mind. She's going to help a lot with the healing, so don't mind with that. Man, I really think I'm just Lami hating. Probably put her here. Putting her there is fair, I think. Because of the Power Staff. Like, she gets Power Staff early, but the Power Staff she gets early isn't really being used much. Like, once you pass... Like, realistically speaking, you're probably not getting her to level 30 in the Pecoland's Princess chapter unless you stay and grind the Halberdiers. But if you stay and grind the Halberdiers, it might be better to have her heal, but then she gets less experience because you want the healers there. That's chapter 10. The healers you have by that time, probably promoted Risu if the witch class has staffs. Actually, I did promote Risu because I just wanted to, because I had way too many Whole Emblems lying around. Oh yeah, she can heal. Okay, so let's get realistic. Miko promoted Risu. Then no one else here. Maybe promoted Sora, but maybe not so much. Promoted Asuki. That's 4 staffers there. And then you get... Let's see here. Anyone else that joins early but can also just end up being a healer? Luna, that's 5. No wait, that's 6. Because Miko, Sora, Asuki, that's 3. Risu, 4. And then you get Asuki. Wait, I'm losing my math here. 3, like Asuki, Miko, Sora. 4, Risu. And then you get 5 because of Luna. So she becomes number 6, staff user number 6. And you can have those healers cover up for her too. But if you have Lamy promoted this time, you probably have Miko promoted too. And Miko's going to be doing a lot more because of Cultured. Power Staff, you're just going to heal the guys and that's it. If anything, if you're using her to heal, you're probably stealing experience from Risu, who could use the staff usage. Because she can fly and use staffs afterwards, you know? If anything, Power Staff just isn't that useful for the time she does get it. Which makes her kind of fall between the cracks. And it's until you start getting the fun staffs like Sleep and Silence where she starts doing things. But she can do unlock the doors if she gets Power Staff early. But let's be a bit more realistic. You're not getting Power Staff on Chapter 10. Maybe not Chapter 11. Because I think it's a survive and then you have to defeat the boss. Huh, I missed 2 houses there. I should have visited them. Damn. And then in KFP, you want units that don't get doubled, but also have more than 27 HP to take a hit because of the chickens. So, you know, the chickens negate defense, so, you know, that her defense doesn't matter. But she'll be pretty slow for it. And I'm doing a Lamy analysis again, which is crazy. So I think Lamy starts getting online in Chapter 13, whereas Towa comes into Chapter 23. That's a whole 10 chapter difference. I don't know why I keep saying that Lamy's just worse than Towa when I think they're the same. I think they're the same, honestly. Like, really, it is just preference. Maybe I'll put Lamy here. Maybe a bit better than Towa. I did underestimate Power Staff. My apologies. Like, it really is on me. It's just Lamy has the chance to not get as much magic as Sora. I mean, not as Sora, as Towa. And Towa just has more chances to get the consistent amount of magic. I'm just being too much of a hater, I think, which is unfair to Lamy. Now let's go to Mel. I think Mel's probably here. Honestly, maybe here. Like, let's go to Mel. She's basically on foot Kanata, but without the special how do you say effective damage. She has 8 con, so she's pretty lightweight. She's gonna get slowed down by some of the dark tomes. Like, she got slowed down by Fenrir. She comes with that tome, I think. She's pretty slow unless she takes damage because she has Resolve. But she does give White Pool and Charm and Malefic Aura. She has Life Taker. Like, she's Choco student, obviously. She's gonna get something out of it. And it's pretty high growth and where it matters. She has 0 strength and 7 base. But there are no physical dark tomes. But she can use Anima. But, you know, 0 growth. She's not using Explosion. She has a 60 in magic, 50 in skill, 35 in speed, 50 in luck, 35 in defense, 45 res and HP. And her bases are looking like 56 HP, 7 strength, 35 magic, 30 skill, 23 speed, 15 luck, 24 defense, 32 res, 6 move, 8 con, 0 leadership. Wow. Mel good? I guess Mel and Towa are good. But Towa gets to go in A simply because she gets Power Staff usage in the late game. I was too harsh on Lamy, so I'll put her up there now. Mel just kind of falls between the cracks. Like, she's probably got better combat than Coyote because Resolve. But she doesn't have the flying utility Kanata has. So she falls between the cracks, like I said. But unlike Kanata, she can use the S rank animatomes too. And Mio has them in her inventory. I'll go look at those. The one Mio has equipped, which is one of the ones you get in the late game, Adventitious, gives plus 10 magic and plus 10 speed. So that speed is going from 24 to 25. But here's the thing, Laplace can also use it, and Laplace has higher speed than Mel naturally. So while Mel gets her speed to a 48 or 46, Laplace is probably hitting 50 and she doesn't need to be a low HP. And like I said before, Resolve is fine and all, but if you're using it for damage, you're going to be limiting yourself to player phase. And there's nothing wrong with that. Look at the archers. Like, this game's more player phase heavy, yeah? But I don't think Mel's going to be taking too many hits. And Mel's also a mage, so if she isn't taking the right hits, like, you know, she could go down a dark path and just go womp womp. And even with Resolve, she's not a good user of Explosion Tome. She is pretty good for damage, I will say that. Let's see here. Her skill also goes to 60. I think Mel is pretty usable. Maybe A tier is also good for her. There's a lot of A tiers here. I have to reduce that eventually. Because all of these units contribute something heavy. These units can contribute, but their contribution is a little less, you know? I don't think there's much to say about Mel. She's just decent. But the thing with Mel is that she, like Rusia, I think Rusia doesn't get a Gaiden to her, doesn't get to be part of a Gaiden. Yeah, she does not get to be part of a Gaiden. And from what it seems to be, it seems that Laplace is a chapter where you can also be using Callie. Unless Laplace and Callie use the same sprites, then I think that's Callie. But, yeah, honestly, Mel good. Mel good, what can I say? Mel good. Mel good. And that's all I have to say. She's good. She joins in chapter 23. She's probably not going to be facing any enemies by the time she gets out, so she joins in the last 2 maps of chapter 23. And in those last 2 maps, there aren't too many enemies either for her to go crazy on. So Resolve's probably not going to show her its true colors. And then in chapter 24, I mean not chapter 24, in the third part of chapter 23, I think that's where you can show Resolve its true colors, because once you open the big door... Actually, no, that's not the one with many enemies. That's chapter 24. You're still not facing a lot of enemies. Like, enough where you need wow. Wow. And you can get entrapped, though. But there's a lot of demon dogs, you know? And then Crony can chase you down with her accuracy. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Her combat's pretty good. But she's at a point where it's not a good to activate her combat. And then in chapter 24, I think is also a good one to use her combat. But your accuracy is going to be super low. Actually, no, never mind. Resolve saves that. Maybe she's better than Iris. Like Resolve users. But they're magic Resolve users. So they're getting accuracy. But they're not getting buffs in their magic damage. Like, how much base magic do you have? You have 37. Not bad. Not bad. Actually, she's kind of a nuke. Actually, Mel is good. I think she's good. But these units joining a little earlier and having some more contributions is more than just her combat, because she joins 1, 2, then there's 24, And then 5 for the final map, 6 for the penultimate final map. Well, the extra final map if you got Shiny Smiley Story, because I don't know if that's a guidance or not, or like an extra chapter. She joins for 6 maps. Kanata has been doing her Resolve combat since chapter 19. And that's... oh, I guess I missed the Pagoda Flare conversation for the map. I mean, for a personal weapon. I'm just looking at the things here for the maps that we can use Kanata on. You can use Kanata on a Maid's Wish. And then Dragon Tribe. That's 1, 2. 3 for Portal. And then 4 for I'm Not Alone. And then 5 for the Academy. So she's got 5 extra maps than Mel. And Mel's ranks, I'm gonna look at them real quick. She has C rank staffs. She's not, let's be realistic, she's not using staffs. It's Dowa. She has B rank Anima and A rank Dark. You probably built up an S rank Dark user at that time. But I think she's also good for it. Like, I'll be honest. It's just... maybe I'm undervaluing her because I never used Resolve. Neither on her or Kanata. But I did use Rally Spectrum a lot. So, I just think I'm being unfair to them. But I think Mel deserves a spot on your team if you need it. You know, if you need it. But if you don't need it and you think you can live without her, then, you know, that's fine. And now we get to Sana. Ooh, yeah, Sana. Let's get to her bases. She's actually got how much HP? 64. Oh, wait a minute. I rated Toa and Mel before Sana. That's... my apologies. Okay, so... the thing with Sana, she has massive HP. And then she has 2 strength. 25 magic, 29 skill, 20 speed, 21 luck and defense, 27 resistance. And how much movement does she have? She also has 6, but 11 con. No leadership to speak of. Like, the last unit that we got that has leadership was Aqua, but we talked about her earlier. So, my apologies. But the thing with Sana, let's look at her skills. I keep saying the thing, but I shouldn't really be saying that. Where is Sana? Sana. There she is. She has her own unique weapon, Starlight. 14 might, 85 hit, 1-2 range, 7 weight, 5 crit, and Union. On hit, minus luck and speed by 7. Huh. I think that's pretty good. Her growth rates really don't matter. She joins at a high level. Like, she has got 2 levels. 10 strength, doesn't matter. And heck, her strength base is 2. So, what are you doing with her strength? You're not doing much. But she also has 40 skill and speed. Not skill and speed, I mean magic and skill. Her luck and speed are 50. She has 30 defense resistance. And she has 70 HP. Okay, cool. And if we look closer at Sana, right? No, wait, I think she joins at level 17 or 16. I think I got that wrong. Judging by my Sana stats, because I had them on the gross. Sana has nice personality, focus, patience when under attack, avoid +10, Defiant avoid when HP is under 25 or lower, gain +30 avoid, Nihil, and Reprecision. That's a 3rd Reprecision unit. You know what that means, right? Automatic A tier. Nah. Let's give her a bit more fairness. Honestly, she's probably the best B tier unit. She has decent ranks in support for the staffs, and Starlight is a good weapon. It's -7 luck and speed. You know how much -7 luck and speed is to an enemy's avoid if she hits? That's the caveat. If she hits, she has to hit. -7 speed is you're gaining. They're losing 14 in avoid. That's essentially plus 14 hit for you, and -7 luck is -7 avoid. So she's giving someone plus 21 hit if she hits an enemy. Like, Sana is definitely support, but at that point, you've already got your support units lined up. Heck, you even have Mel right there. So it's like the later units are pretty good. They sometimes have to have problems justifying themselves with others. But at the same time, I don't know, they feel a little weird to me sometimes. Maybe if Mio came later, I would have been more open to them. But Mio comes like, I say, just past the mid-game, like just when the mid-game is finishing, and then the late game starts. Like I said, this has a lot of Mio biases in there. But I think Sana's a good unit. Give her a chance. She isn't gonna be that I'm not gonna say too exciting to have, because you know you probably gained other units that you're like, wow, these units are more exciting. But obviously, if Sana's your Oshi user, everyone is usable. I think she's probably the worst reposition unit out of the three, but that still gives her a bit more than some of these units down here, because she can also just debuff enemy units with Starlight. And what does Union do? I need to know what that does. But we're getting close to the end, because now we can just talk about these two units right here. Crony and Callie. I think Callie's like a B unit. She's a good tank. And these units, I don't even have to look. You don't even have to look at their growth rates. I think Callie's growth rates are all 44. I don't know what joke that's supposed to be. Yeah, even her HP is 44. She has 18 con, so good for capturing, but she has 5 leadership. So her stats alone, B, and summoning B, but 5 leadership. Probably better than Madding. Actually, no, because Madding's doing combat really early for you and support. But Callie has 40 HP. I mean, not 40 HP. She has 80 HP. But 40 strength, 25 magic, 30 skill, 20 speed, 4 luck. Ooh. 38 defense and 37 resistance. She is tanky. But we can't know her age. Aw. She has Savage Blow after attacking enemies within 2 tiles. Receive 20 damage. And in the map where you fight Hachama and Hato, there's a lot of enemies that are pretty good. She can chip the super dodgy enemies. She can summon phantoms. She has Swordbreaker. So you can put her next to a sword unit. And she's one of the few resolve units that can do the crazy resolve shenanigans, but she's only limited to 40 speed. Actually, maybe this. Maybe this is better for Callie. Because I really like Resolve Ike, because it just makes maps easier. So I'm guessing you got Callie the 40 HP, and she's gonna go wham crazy on those guys. She has Frenzy. For every 4 damage taken, that's +1 the damage dealt. So if she loses 40 HP, you're telling me she gains +10 damage, essentially +10 strength. So if you get her to half HP, right, at 40, that's 60 strength, +10, 70 because of the damage. And she has an Atsphere, so 74. So if Callie's under half HP, she's dealing crazy amounts of damage. Like, obviously I can't put her a bit higher up because, you know, she's literally there for the final map of the game. And it's still conditional. But the fact she can do that crazy amount of combat is good. If anything, maybe I should put Vi a little lower, because Vi still looks like a sore thumbnail to me. But then you have the unit that makes the final map of the game pretty easily for you. Crony. Oh, like Callie, she joins with cap level, so we can just look at her bases. If you ask what her growth rates are, HP is 200 and everything else is 20. Her strength is 50 with 25 con, so she cannot be rescued. But she doesn't need rescuing with all that avoid. 50 skill, 50 speed, 30 luck, 25 defense, 20 res. Ooh, that reminds me, I didn't even look at Ricky, Callie's personal weapon. Yes, you essentially need to recruit Callie to get this legendary weapon. Only she can use it. It grants her life taker, funny enough. It's 20 weight, so it slows her down by 2. But it's 25 might. 70 hit, 10 crit. Also, I don't know if this was intentional, but she has 69 attack thanks to all that. Nice. But yeah, I think you could put Callie up because she's essentially required to get the Laplace promotion. I don't know why I gave her all these other axes. Okay, maybe the hand axe and the thunder axe was good. But why the brave axe? I don't know. But yeah, 25 might axe with 10 crit, and she gets resolve. One of the best combat units in the game. Just give her rally speed, and that 40 speed, thanks to resolve, becomes 47. Yeah. And if you have a few coffees left over, if you didn't use them for some reason, I think she deserves to get the coffees, because if you increase her speed to 23 instead of 20 with the coffee, that essentially becomes she's getting a plus... Oh yeah, she's only getting plus 10 speed. Never mind, I was being stupid. She's gonna hit hard, but she isn't gonna double. So 37 speed. You increase it to 23 because of the coffee, right? Then she's getting plus 11 speed instead of plus 10. And that's pretty good because you're essentially getting, you know, that plus 1 speed. But but giving her the coffee means that's effectively plus 14 speed. Like I say, if you save up your coffees or get the secret shop that lets you buy coffees or something, she becomes a delete button for the final map of the game, like super unit moment, you know. And I valued Laplace heavily for that, aka Laplace. I think I can close all the FE builder stuff now. But now that we talked about Callie with her 5 leadership as well, let's get to the final unit of the game, Crony. I already said her base stats and growths. She likes herself and its essential dread. Man, Crony, get out of here. She has her own weapon, which is the reason she doesn't need a 1-2 range weapon. She could use it to attack enemies at range. But the thing is, she also gets a skill called Time Jump, which means that she gets Gale Force. It's 13 might. The West weapon's 13 might. So she has 63 attack, 120 hit, right? 5 weight, 0 crit. She has and 175 avoid. Also, her hit isn't displayed here. I guess she's always hitting. She has Perfectionist, plus 15 hit out of avoid when unit's HP is at maximum. Yikes. Miracle, sorry, lethal attack if HP is above 50. She's not getting hit. Miracle's useless to her. Nice personality, yep. But she also has Astra and Ether. So, and she can crit within those attacks. Like, I think it's better she gets Astra because she's not getting hit, so Ether's not gonna do much. But Ether also has Luna. So it's like she has a 25% chance to delete you if you're tanky, or a 50% chance to do a lot of hits to you if you're dodgy. Like, I think Crony's probably better than Callie. Maybe this is more accurate. I like to put Iroha a bit further up, but Crony does a lot more damage. But, you know, she's essentially making the worst part of the game. Not the worst part, I mean the hardest part. Like, I say worst part in terms of it's going to be the worst part for your units, because they're probably not going to be able to do much against some enemies. She's going to delete all the dead lords you have to face there. She's going to delete them. She's going to delete them easily. Iroha might have some trouble there. But Crony, she's not gonna have trouble. And she has Gale Force, so she deletes one. She can just make her way to the other one, or delete another one inside that room, just to make it easier for you. Like, Crony can probably just give her a door key, and like 2 door keys, I think. Actually, no, because then she might get robbed by the rogues. Leave the rogue room to someone like Callie because of Swordbreaker. But yeah, take care of the rogues. Like, take care of the room with the ATS users with Crony. Open the other doors. Then go to the other Sage room, you know. It's like... Crony's just good. Crony's just good. She's there for essentially 2 maps. So, I'm not sure if you want to take availability into account there. But the thing is, she contributes so much. Like, sure, Athos contributes a lot in FE7, the final map, right? But he's still mortal. He still has 40 HP. You still have to think about it. But Crony is just, you know what? Delete button, delete button, delete button. She's a bit like Sed in that regard, where Sed is essentially your delete button. And you've already had plenty of delete buttons in the game, but she's the biggest one, you know? And even, let's take this even further. Kiara can rally Spectrum for strength and speed on Crony. The final boss is a bunch of jokes. Heck, you can put a melee on it to Crony. Have a melee equip the Minute Blade for more strength. And, you know, weapon might. And, you know, Crony's just deleting Hachiman Hato twice because of the time jump. Like, that's why I say you want at least 2 warps. Simply for Crony to warp there, get there in time, and also to rescue someone else. Because, or likely you could just rally Spectrum them, and then warp Amelia and Crony there, and then rescue Amelia, and then warp her back in again, but then that would require 3 warps. So I would say at least 3 warps, if you want to do that type of strategy. Because you can just stack up Crony and then have her delete the boss. Like, Crony good? Crony good, what can I say? Maybe I'll move Callie a little up. But, you know, she isn't the super unit that Crony can be. Because Callie's doesn't have a brave weapon. She's at most gonna get 30 speed. She isn't gonna be doubling probably anything for a good while. Like with the coffee, that's essentially 38 speed along with the rally Spectrum. So, like if you got some coffees for Calliope, yeah, you want to give her that as soon as possible. But the thing with Callie is that she has Life Taker with Ricky. So, yeah, she gets out of Resolve range easily. Like, Resolve in this game, I like the way the creator balanced it, because you have it on 2 magic units, being Mel and Kanata, right? So they can't use much of the magic, but they will be helped with the speed because they're slow. Callie too, but the thing with Callie is that since she has Life Taker, she's not going to be the leading units. She can probably erase a bunch of HP if she doesn't kill them, which is nice. But let's be honest, she's going to be deleting them. So I guess it's like, let her take a hit, then let her kill. I think that's fair. But yeah, but the reason they give you Crony is definitely for that one Super Thracia-inspired map, I think. And also, she's the Warden of Time. She's supposed to be broken. Like, why not? And then also you have Ina here. Ina will never be tiered. Actually, let's give Okayu a tier. Oh, I have cap locks on. Okayu tier. There we go. Contributes, but not too much. And then over here we can put very good contributions. And then over here we're just gonna put important units. Because I'm gonna be honest, you can make the argument that every unit is important because of the guidance. But if you're playing on Yabai, you've probably already seen the guidance because the game strictly suggests not strictly, but it's suggested that you play Seiso first. And if you played on Seiso, you probably experimented out and about to see if you missed anything. So if you're playing on Yabai, you probably know which guidance you want to go to. Like, you don't want to go to the Roboco Gaiden, but you want to use Miko. Just kill off anyone you're not using from that Gen 1. You can probably kill off Asuki, you can probably kill off Suisei, you can probably kill off Roboco Dot. Let's say you want to use Korone, then you gotta keep every other gamer alive. But if you're doing an Iron Man, right, and or maybe you, like, honestly, if you got the Korone promotion, there's no reason to kill off any other gamers. But like, because the Korone promotion is unironically really good, you want it. Like, that's a thing you want. But I think that's like my tier list in general. Ooh, that's another thing. You can probably kill Botan or Nenechi to not get the Gaiden with Polka, unless you want the treasure for Everlasting Soul. Like, each Gaiden has its own thing that makes them important. But I think the Roboco one is kind of the more iffy one, because it's just a promotion for Roboco. So if you're not using Roboco, not too important. You're not using Null. The Gaiden where she appears in is not too important either. Unless that's the one where you get the flare bow. But I think this is all alright. I think this is... I don't think my opinion's gonna be too good because it's only been one playthrough. But, yeah. As a first impressions, this is my opinion on them. Mio's in the way, but you can tell Suisei's there, so I guess it's fine. And Ina's there in the bottom, but let me just scroll down a bit so you can see Ina there. Yeah, Ina's there, but Ina didn't get tiered whatsoever. So I guess we can go up. However, Ina did get a bunch of buffs, so if I had to put her somewhere, right? Probably B, because at that point I probably would have had the Ina without the buffs. And they were really important. Do I still have the drop bots here? I do have it open. Hold on. Let's see. Ina. There it is. Ina had a +6 magic buff. How bad was she that she needed a +6? Well, Luna got a +6, so But however, she also got a +6 to defense and resistance. She had staff uses, I guess, but then +3 skill and speed. I gotta get to Ina and see what was wrong with her. Maybe I'll play it on an earlier version and then compare it to a later version. But that'll just be me, I guess. So I guess that's it. I'll be seeing you all next time you guys want to see a video of mine. Goodbye, everybody, and I hope you've enjoyed the long tier list discussion. Because frankly, I'm relieved and I'm a little tired.